Right now, we're the underdogs. We're playing the Brewers. We beat the Brewers. We play the Phillies. But don't you think once you experience the postseason, once you get in it, don't you think anybody can win?
I think wild card teams really have the advantage because there's no break in their momentum. Um, so I mean, I'm liking the Mets right now. They have the grit and just the tenacity, much like the good people, the patrons of New York. That's what they embody. Um, I mean, it's just a lot of fun to see what they've been doing. I'm a little jealous that because winning in New York and playing in playoffs, meaningful baseball in New York is. I mean, I can't think of. I don't have any children, but I can imagine that's what like watching the birth of your first child is like.
Jay Horowitz with a special edition of Amazing Conversations with my old friend Noah Syndergaard. Noah, thank you for coming on board. No, you're still living in Dallas. Are you able to keep up with the Mets?
Yeah, I mean, I took this year off, not by choice necessarily, but just 'cause there wasn't a lot of job opportunities that really interested me, I guess. So I think I've just had. I think one of the most beneficial things I could be doing during this time is just trying to absorb as much baseball as I possibly can, just to keep the mind fresh. I guess for when hopefully I do come back next year. So yeah, I've been watching. I mean, I get my work done. I do my throwing, workout, do all my recovery stuff, and I just come back to the house. And actually, I don't really have to leave much of my area to do everything that I need to do. Um, and I just watch a lot of baseball for most of the afternoon and evening. It just makes me realize how much I love the game, how much I miss the game, how much passion I had, how it's a huge part of me. It's ingrained in my DNA. Yeah, yeah, I watch all of baseball, but for
You
the most
know, I mean, for me, there's a
part,
lot of similarities between the current Met team, the 2015 team, which you were a part of. It's a big part of. You know, we were really under 500 or until right around the trade deadline. You know, we get Uribe, Raby, Cespedes, Tyler Clippard, Kelly Johnson, and what do you remember most about that year? And this team, I think we won 90 games in 2015. Last night was our 89th win. A lot of similarities we do between the 2015 Mets and the current team now. What do you remember going back to those good old days, Noah?
I mean, I'm extremely happy for the guys on that team and just Mets fans all around. They've been hoping and wishing for a playoff berth for the longest time, and I think it's really admirable to see what that team has done. Just because they started off so poorly,
Just
and
like the 15 team did too. We
yeah,
were
we were really bad in the beginning of 2015.
right,
It took
right,
me. I didn't debut until May 12th,
right,
I think, or something like
right.
that. And I remember playing the Dodgers one series at home, and Kershaw was pitching against us. And I look up at the scoreboard to look at our lineups, and I think we had 4 or 5 guys with batting averages under
I
200,
remember. I
and I
I
think
I remember. Yeah, wasn't a pretty lineup, but not at all. Was it a pretty lineup?
I think Kershaw threw the fastest complete game 3 hitter I've ever seen. And then, I mean, I thought we were gonna win the World Series, and then they were gonna make a documentary about us called "There's No Crying in Baseball" because that was the same year that Wilmer Flores thought he was getting traded mid-game, and you see him crying at shortstop.
I talked about that weekend. Did you pitch the Washington weekend? Did you pitch the Saturday night or the Sunday night game? I forget. Harvey pitched the first game.
That first game. I remember being in the bullpen for some reason watching that game.
You pitched.
But I
They
didn't
hit
play
two
the
home
bullpen. But I
runs.
remember like they were winning. They were winning. They scored like 4 or 5 runs early or something, and then I don't. It was. I think there was like a bases loaded ground ball to Cespedes in the outfield. And I think it went under his glove, and so all
You
four.
talking about the World Series or no? I mean,
No, I'm talking about the National Series.
I thought they were well. We won Friday night. when Wilmer hit a walk-off home run in the 12th inning.
Oh,
And
okay,
he
that was at home. That was at home.
yeah, and yeah, what you do and I don't know whether you pitched Saturday or Sunday, but I mean, now the place is electric. I never
I think it was
remembered
Sunday because it was Sunday Night Baseball.
yeah, and was that the game with Murphy? We hit like 3 homers in a row.
Murphy hit one.
Duda hit one,
Judah hit one. Maybe Kirk Neuenhuis.
Yeah, well, but I think Kurt might hit us in Washington, but that was a series that turned it all around. I mean, it was crazy. All the additions. It seemed like Cespedes hit a home run every other at bat. That week. And
I don't
everything.
really remember that Phillies series when David came back for the first game and he hit a home run and Cespedes hit a home run.
You know what I remember about that game? We got off a road trip, and David was in full uniform, handing out chocolate chip cookies in the Philadelphia hotel.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
That's what I remember.
Freaking,
Yeah.
you're sharp as a wit right now.
No, in my own, but whatever. What else? Thinking about food, you used to get me to try and lose weight, and you used to be eating this dietetic ice cream. What am I thinking about? You used to got me on this ice cream
Probably
is
Halo
good.
Top, maybe.
Yeah. You see, Jay, you got to try this dietetic ice cream. I ate a lot. I still gain weight. No offense to
I
that,
don't.
but
I don't eat any. I don't eat Halo Top anymore. I have this new obsession called ice cream for bears, and it's not like low calorie, low carb, but it's like made with really good quality ingredients. But yeah, my diet's shifted since back then. I used to do a lot of juicing back then too.
yeah.
Not so
So,
much anymore.
so we're getting ready to go to the playoffs now. So, and back in 15, the Dodgers had our number. The Cubs beat us like 8 of 9, 9 of 10. So we sweep the Cubs, and I'll never forget your part in the you. I think you won Game 2 against the Cubs in the LCS. What I remember most the fifth game in LA, when Jacob got in and out of trouble the whole way. You pitched the fifth 2 innings. Was that one of the first times in relief? And
Yeah,
then
I pitched the seventh inning, and I think Terry tried to get me to go out for the eighth, maybe. I was
yeah,
so gassed because every time Degrom, he threw like 5 or 6 quality innings, but there was just like
in and out of trouble.
it was stressful for him the whole time. So
Right.
I warmed up in the bullpen probably.
We're up against, right now we're the underdogs. We're playing the Brewers. If we beat the Brewers, we play the Phillies. But don't you think once you experience the postseason, once you get in it, don't you think anybody can win? I mean, especially now in
I think
baseball.
wild card teams really have the advantage because they don't there's no break in their momentum. So I mean, I'm liking the Mets right now. They have the grit and just the tenacity, much like the good people, the patrons of New York. That's what they embody. Um, I mean, it's just a lot of fun to see what they've been doing. I'm a little jealous that I'm because winning in New York and playing in playoffs, meaningful baseball in New York is. I mean, I can't think of. I don't have any children, but I can imagine that's what like watching the birth of your first child is like.
Yeah. It's
Um,
it, well, listen, and then we go into the World Series. You win game. What was it like winning? We lost the first two at Kansas City. We win 9-3. In first game back at City Field. I think David had his only World Series home run in that game.
yeah, I
What do
was
you
on
remember
first
about that?
base actually. I refer to that.
What's that? No,
Was that Curtis? No, I was no, okay. Curtis was lead off. Um,
we blew out. We won
David
the game.
was second, and I remember I was up there thinking I was going to get hit by Giordano Ventura the whole time. Yeah, because I had thrown over Escobar's head, but instead he threw me a curveball, and I just happened to luck out and hit it for a line drive base hit to first, and I'm on first base, and I still have that image in my head of watching David crush that home run to left
Yeah.
field.
You,
Um,
you, you know, I don't want to get specific about one thing. When one pitch is endeared you to Met fans forever, the following year, I'm talking about
Chase Utley.
the Chase Utley at bat. I don't want to. But I mean, did you ever hear the podcast with Hallian? You know,
They showed me a clip of it. Yeah, that
I
was
remember. How about these guys on the mound? It was you, Ty Kelly, Soup Campbell,
Neil
and
Walker.
Neil Walker. How do I remember that? And you're
That's
trying to
was
explain. Hey, I don't know what happened.
brilliant, Jay.
Huh?
Because you're brilliant. That's why.
No, it was so. And then I just a couple of your highlights. So no, I stress to remember in 16, 2 home runs against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was. I look back on it now and I'm like, that's gives me goosebumps. And another like every now and then when I just want to reminisce in the good old days, like someone made this YouTube video in 2015, right before we went to the playoffs, and it's just like this pump up hype video, and it's "We
Yeah,
Didn't Start the Fire" in the background, and it just gives me goosebumps and gets me fired up every time I
yeah.
watch.
And another great. You had a pitch great in the postseason. Noah, the wild card 2016. I think that year you were, 14-9. If I correct, yeah, 14-9. 7 shutout innings, no hitter through 5 or 6. We lose a game on a 3-run home in the ninth inning. What do you remember about that game?
I mean, it was just heart crushing. I still can't believe I went toe to toe with one of the great pitchers of our
Bumgarner, yeah,
generation. And it just, I mean, it was like somebody ripped my heart out watching it. I
yeah.
think it was Connor Gillespie. Is that who it was?
Conical, not exactly a household name.
Oh yeah, but he's always going to be a household name to
Yeah, for you.
Mets players and Mets fans at that time.
No,
Uh,
let's talk about you for a second. So you're 32 now. You didn't pitch last year. The opportunity is there, but you still haven't given up, right? You want to get back and pitch someplace in 2025.
I do, yeah. That's what I'm hoping for. I just if this is all I got, then I want to go out on my own terms. But I still feel like I have a lot to give to the game, and especially because I haven't been myself ever since I had Tommy John surgery. I mean, I was 15 months into my rehab, and I was crushing my rehab. I was back up to 98 in bullpens, and then I had a setback. I think my body just kind of went to like a fight or flight traumatic stage because I'm like, you got to be kidding me! Like I blew out my elbow again when I didn't even have a chance to make it back the first time. Um, I mean, yeah, like the success rate of Tommy John is still like 98%. The second one goes down to like 40 to 50%, I think. So that's what's great about seeing Degrom, Jake come back, and having some success and being able to go into this offseason for the Rangers, knowing that
Do
he'll
you
be.
follow him, Noah? What Jake is doing? Yeah,
I mean, I haven't really. I'll watch. I think he pitched like 3 games before the
yeah,
season
yeah.
ended. If I'm not actively watching it, I'll watch the highlights and check in. And I mean, him and I actually live in the same neighborhood, so he lives like a couple hundred yards
Now
away.
he's a Texan. Now he's a fellow Texan. Now it's crazy. I switched jobs in 18, and I don't really not connected with the current team. The guy left who was still playing. I know is Nimmo. Nimmo was there, bits and pieces when you were there, right? I mean,
Yeah, Nemo and I were really close. I haven't spoken to him in a while. But that's the thing with like baseball, you have all these different relationships, and some are a little bit hard to keep up with. But the second you're like re reacquainted, like it's just like no time has ever like was taken off. Like you're back to being boys again and having that chemistry.
so are you throwing? Do you throw on the side someplace? How do you?
Yeah,
What,
uh, I think what's kind of screwed me up for the last 2 years is I've probably seen 10 to 15 different pitching coaches, and all of them say a different thing. And they're all very like, your hip has to do this, your gloves got to get here. And it just got really paralyzing, to the point where I had probably some paralysis by analysis and almost had like a minor form of the yips. I mean, like, there were times last year I'm throwing for the Dodgers and I look up and I see 89, 90 miles an hour on the scoreboard. I'm like, that was my changeup when I was really good. And it's just like you you try to throw the ball at 100% and it only comes out at 90%. So something that's just like there's some inefficiency or something along like the kinetic chain from the release point that just isn't coming out the right way. And it's probably my own damn fault because when I had my elbow surgery, I'm like, oh, great. Like, when do I ever have a year to 18 months to like address some things that I needed to address? Because every off season is only 3 to 4 months. There's not a whole lot of time to make drastic changes. And so I was like, I'm going to fix this on my delivery and fix this on my delivery. And then it just got to the point where like I don't even remember how I used to throw. And then I was just looking through the photos on my phone are just constant videos of me throwing mechanics. Um, and I found this video from 2022, right before I started pitching for the Angels, and I'm like, damn, like that's encouraging to see because I'm not that like that video I was looking at was mechanics were perfect. I'm like, I want to go back. I need to go back to that. And so it's just encouraging to see like, oh, that I'm not that far gone. It's just
Can I give you some more encouragement? One of your former teammates pitched up until he was 47 or 48 years old, the great Bartolo Colon. So
what a
you
guy.
you 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 have to. You remember his behind the back catches and the stuff at first
Yeah.
base?
I mean, he was a freak athlete. I mean, I don't know how. I mean, he wasn't really necessarily a baseball player, but trade. But Deion Sanders took 4 years off and then came back to play.
Right. I mean, he. We had an old timers in game last year, and he came back, and we had 64, 65 people there, and he was probably got one of the biggest hands of anybody there. He's like an icon. He's and he was still he was pitching someplace this year, some kind of a league, and I never thought he would retire. These two guys that still would never retire were Julio Franco and Bartolo. Hey, listen, you're only 32 years old. I know you make it back. Just don't give up. A lot of people in New York still root for you, Noah. So I hope you make it back. And if we can do anything from my end, let me know. You think you'll be following the Mets in this playoff run? Hopefully,
Yeah, I'll be watching them today. What time is their game like?
5:30. We play the Brewers. It's crazy. We set up now. It's 3 games there. And if we win that series, we come back and play the Phillies. And if we win that series, we play the Dodgers. So it's a road ahead. But these guys are a gritty bunch. There's a lot of great storylines, and you would love the manager. Manager is a great guy, Carlos Mendoza. The team started off 22-33 and wound up with 89 wins. And the guy never lost his composure through the whole thing. And in the beginning, the starters weren't going 4 or 5 innings now, going 7, 8 innings, and so it's a great group of guys. A lot of great storylines. So hopefully we can, have some postseason baseball at Citi Field. Hey, thank you for your time, Noah. And then tell me regards to your mom for me, please.
All right, thank you, Jay.
And if
Yeah,
I can help you in anything, let me know, my friend. Okay, kid.
it was good to see you. I'm honored to be here with you and
I'm honored to have you on, Noah. Good
holiday.
memories, and hopefully be more to come.
Yeah, absolutely. I hope you're well.
Thanks, man.
See you.
Appreciate your time, Noah. Thanks, man. All right,
Thank you,
bye.
Jay.